How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, y'all see that title. And I do need the royal family's help in order to help the royal family. But before I get into that, there's some other things that I must present to the royal family. There are folks doing a lot of nefarious things out here because of the coronavirus. There's a lot of fuckery popping off. Fakery, deception, and everything. So, as usual, I'm going to take the royal family on a journey. So let's listen to this. But just don't lose sight of up there what you see with Alex Jones, dusty, greasy ass. So let's hear what this brother have to say at the World Health Organization. Let me blow this up for y'all.
There are now more than 118,000 cases in 114 countries, and 4,291 people have lost their lives. Thousands more are fighting for their lives in hospitals. In the days and weeks ahead, we expect to see the number of cases, the number of deaths, and the number of affected countries climb even higher. WHO has been assessing this outbreak around the clock, and we're deeply concerned both by the alarming levels of spread and severity and by the alarming levels of inaction. We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic. Pandemic is not a word to use lightly or carelessly. It's a word that, if misused, can cause unreasonable fear or unjustified acceptance that the fight is over, leading to unnecessary suffering and death. Describing the situation as a pandemic does not change WHO's assessment of the threat posed by the virus. It doesn't change what WHO is doing, and it doesn't change what countries should do.
All right, let me shut that down quickly. Let's shut that down quickly. Quickly. So, the World Health Organization, despite that shit Trump talking, Trump said yesterday they got this under control. They don't got this under control. No, them vapors is every which way. And this is a time, my royal family, when I get to the end, y'all will fully understand where I'm coming from, that, I always talk about our immediate situation. But then you got them people out there that do what they do, And I have 3 more videos to show the royal family, and then I have some deeper things that we're going to talk about. So, some more things that we need to watch for.
It was billed as a homemade spray sanitizer sold at this 7-Eleven in Rivervale. But instead of cleansing, it sent a young boy to the hospital, leaving him with first and second-degree chemical burns from his arms down to his legs. His mother posting the images on Facebook as a warning to parents, and now the Rivervale Police Department is involved.
There are about 10 bottles remaining that were sold yesterday alone. Anyone who's purchased those items is asked to not use them and to contact our agencies.
Police are still trying to determine who produced the homemade concoction, an apparent trend amid concerns over hand sanitizer shortages due to the COVID-19 outbreak. The 7-Eleven franchise owner is said to be cooperating with the investigation. As the child recovers from his injuries, his family has hired an attorney who tells me they plan to pursue legal action. This incident just the latest in a series of consumer mishaps, all linked to the coronavirus. As many as 7 companies were issued warnings this week by the Federal Trade Commission and Food and Drug Administration for marketing products that they claim could treat, prevent, and even cure the coronavirus.
If you are concerned and you're hearing a claim that sounds too good to be true, there's a very good chance it's too good to be true.
For the record, there is no cure or treatment for the coronavirus that has been approved or tested by the FDA.
There's regulators you can contact, especially if you have purchased something and you feel like you've been taken advantage of.
The New York State Attorney General has set up a hotline for those concerned over COVID-19 related scams. For more information on all that, head over to our website, pix11.com. In Rivervale, I'm Andrew Ramos.
All right. See, folks getting down, doing the most. Just out here, doing the most. You gotta, this is when you really slow down and really take the time to go to the base of your brain. Don't let this hyperbia make you feel some kind of way and start doing the most. As we continue on my royal family.
Virus is being shared online, and some of it could be coming from foreign governments or other actors.
A top State Department official told the Washington Post last week that Russia has been creating false personas to spread misinformation on social media. So joining us now is CNET senior producer Dan Patterson with more on this. So Dan, I'm really happy you're here. You have made me kind of like a warrior against misinformation, and I am perpetually disappointed in the number of people that I see spreading things that I consider obviously false. So let us talk about this. The Washington Post, the State Department told the Washington Post that Russia is behind swarms of online false personas or personas. What is that?
Okay, so as social media has evolved, smartphones have become ubiquitous. These are no longer luxury items. This has become essential communications infrastructure. Unfortunately, that infrastructure has been exploited in the past. We saw this with political influence operations. Now we are seeing this related to the coronavirus, and it's incredibly important that we separate out the good information from this disinformation. And it's important to call this disinformation because disinformation implies intentionality. So what we are seeing here, what the State Department is seeing, the Global Engagement Center, which is a part of the State Department, has no disinformation coming from the GRU, the IRA, and other components of the Russian government that interfered in the 2016 election. So I don't know that I would say swarm, because this again plays into the sense of fear that people are feeling. So I don't want to judge how people feel, but let's take a look at the activity here. And we are seeing what the social media industry calls coordinated inauthentic activity. Now, the reason we call this coordinated inauthentic activity is that it involves botnets, which spread information automatically. This is automation. It also involves real people sitting behind fake accounts, meaning they are designed to look like American accounts. They often use VPNs so that the geotags say the United States, but these are people with a political agenda sitting in an office, much like we sit in offices, designed to spread misinformation or disinformation using Twitter, Facebook, and other large social networks.
This is like sort of greatest hits of misinformation, though. Didn't we see this in 2016? Didn't we already know what the MOs are, and why aren't we catching them?
Yeah, so the social media industry has been aware of this activity for a long time. In fact, not just related to politics. In fact, a few years ago, we saw a company called Devumi caught for selling fake followers. There is an industry of influencers who will buy influence. So the social media industry, particularly Facebook and Twitter, has been aware of this problem for a long time, but this is still being exploited to spread disinformation about the coronavirus.
Let me ask you about manipulated media, something that Twitter is trying to roll out. We saw that this weekend over a tweet by by Dan Scavino, President Trump's campaign manager. He tweeted out a video that they say was manipulated, and they tagged it as such. Although it was kind of buggy because I saw the reporting, and then I looked at my timeline, and I didn't see the label. I went to his timeline, didn't see the label. So how does it work? And I guess, can users of Twitter, of social media, have faith in something that is labeled manipulated media? In other words, we keep talking about fake personas and fake information, misinformation that is out there, but I guess people are also going to want to know is when a social media company slaps a label on something, can I trust that? Because is that biased? Is that coming from a level of misinformation or dishonesty? How are we to know?
You know, Vlad, you said a key word there, trust. So Twitter has rolled out this feature called where they tag posts with alleged manipulated media. Now, if we rewind to about a year ago, this word deepfake we heard a lot. In fact, that information or deepfakes were applied to CBS News content. We saw deepfakes used for Mark Zuckerberg and Nancy Pelosi, other political figures. Now, deepfake implies this kind of technologically sophisticated thing that looks like one thing but is another thing. Now, Twitter's manipulated media is kind of an evolution of this, and what you're getting at, Vlad, is that a post doesn't have to be totally manipulated. It can be small alterations that, just like if you change one word in a sentence, it can change the meaning of the sentence. You can do the same thing with manipulated media. The problem here is that when Twitter and Facebook get into the game of saying this is manipulated, this is not, you can see disinformation propagated that doesn't have that tag, or bad actors can move more rapidly than Twitter, Facebook, and the others are able to respond, which leaves consumers, leaves you and me and everyone else looking at posts that don't have that label, feeling, gosh, okay, this must be authentic because it doesn't have that label. So we're all kind of in this really tight spot where we see bad actors manipulating content, and social media firms, the only thing they can do is respond.
So I just want to ask you about Dan Scavino, the president's social media manager, and his tweet. When that tweet got flagged as manipulated media, he retweeted. He retweeted. The video was not manipulated, and what Twitter was saying is that, you know, perhaps those words were, I don't want to give the video oxygen, but, you know, it had to do with former Vice President Biden. The Vice President at some point uttered some of these words, but the way that they were strung together gave it a different context and a different meaning. He says it's not manipulated. So this is the push and pull that I'm sort of talking about. If somebody comes back and says, no, these are not the droids you're looking for, right? And people are going to say, well, what do I believe? Do I believe
That's exactly right. Yeah, and that is,
that's the point.
In fact, the intent, Anne-Marie, you're exactly right. That is the intent of not just Russian bad actors, but we've seen these tactics because they're inexpensive and easy to do at large scale. We've seen these tactics deployed domestically by domestic actors for political purposes. We've seen them deployed for business purposes. We see them not just in the United States. We see these tactics deployed all over the world. And of course, coronavirus is not just a U.S. problem. It is a global problem. And when we see disinformation propagated, it can oftentimes target municipalities. It can target local cultures. In fact, this study by the Global Engagement Center studied 3 weeks of Twitter content, and they found that 7% of the conversations were inauthentic. 7%. That's a massive amount of the discussions happening on Twitter. So again, Vlad, to your point, that this really just amplifies the divisions that already exist, and it can kind of grind down the polarity, or create polarity and kind of grind down the discourse and make, well, my side versus your side, and who's to say which side is right?
So really, really quick before you leave, just to go back to the coronavirus, I just want to give people tools when they do get online. Do we know what types of falsehoods are being spread, or what people can do to identify, you know, a questionable tweet or whatever?
Yeah, so Anne-Marie, you've asked the million-dollar question, and that gets to the word Vlad used, trust. So again, social media infrastructure has become critical communication infrastructure. It is really important that we do not believe everything that we instantly scroll past and see on social networks, and that we trust organizations that have vetted their content. There really is not a ton we can do, although social networks have built in these mechanisms to flag and report content. Often those mechanisms are exploited by brigades, large groups of people who want to flag authentic content and drive it down as well. So the real thing that we can do is make sure that we are following content that is by reliable, trustworthy actors, and not necessarily believe the things that we want to believe, but believe the things that are vetted and fact and science-based.
But Dan, what happens though? So it's such an interesting point. I mean, my parents are in their 70s, they're not on Twitter. And I sometimes see tweets and I'm like, this is this is completely not true. And I'm glad that my parents who are in their 70s are not reading this stuff. And yet, the President of the United States on February 26 said this. He said that the number of people infected in the United States by the coronavirus is going very substantially down. That's a quote, not up, okay? And that is not true. And so that message is then on television. It gets reprinted in newspapers, and then it gets into Twitter. It's not true, but people are saying, well, I didn't even get it from Twitter. I got it from the man in the Oval Office.
That's what makes us so vulnerable.
Yeah.
Right?
I can't prescribe a solution here.
All we can do,
fix it.
Fix it, bro.
All we can do is identify the mechanics, and I hesitate to use this word viral, but social networks have been built on viral mechanics. They've been built so that content can be amplified with very little friction. And of course, that ends up in, the industry term is earned media. That ends up in actual media content. Social media posts end up in actual media content. So again, it's important that we here at traditional media outlets do our homework and that we look at the facts, and we try hard here at CBS News and our colleagues in the media. But it's really important that when we see misinformation and disinformation, that we try to identify it, flag it, and do our best not to amplify it. It's on everyone watching and all of our friends and relatives to make sure that we do the same thing.
I try. I try to fight a good fight. That's a family argument.
She does try to fight a good fight.
So do you.
I don't have people in my timeline like in hers on Facebook like putting really weird things, but she does, and she tries to like fight it, and it's like a losing battle.
Yeah. Dan, thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Now, I felt like this was absolutely necessary given what's going on. Because y'all see here, coronavirus cannot be cured by drinking bleach or snorting cocaine despite social media rumors. So we need to be abreast, my royal family, on this type of craziness, and this hyperbia. And so I was on Amazon just looking at, I was ordering some disinfectant, and I seen a fake one. And I examined it, and then I researched it, and then I Googled this fake name that they put, and lo and behold, it was what I thought it was, because it was like pitching like, this big miracle that what it could do. And that's when I always say, do your own thinking and don't make hasty decisions. And so the reason why I was showing what I was showing to the royal family, usually we are the last to know what is going on. We are not fitted in that narrative. We already know this. We're going to keep it core, and we're going to keep it real, that when they are doing whatever they doing, we the last to get information, and a lot of times we get disinformation, and we have to help our family in many different ways. So this is one of the ways that I can help our family, and I love that y'all continue to email me disinformation. Like, check this out. I get that all the time. I may not respond back to y'all, but trust and believe, I read that. It's a lot coming at us, so please don't feel slighted if us little small YouTubers out here are not answering you back immediately. You got to remember, we are doing research. I don't play that with that research. I'm not sloppy with my research, because when I'm doing my research, I'm thinking of my family, the royal family. And so I have one more video that I want to show the royal family that I felt like it was very necessary. Then we're going to get into a little deeper discussion in why I need the royal family's help.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna show you how to test this mask. Okay, the outside part is the blue one. Okay, so we're going to do the first test is going to be with water for liquid filtration. Okay, I am going to pour some water inside this mask. And check if it holds the water, if it doesn't filter. Okay, we see that water is not coming through. That is the first test that we are going to do. Okay, for the second test, we can use the same mask if we want. We are going to cut with a scissor on one side of the mask and we are going to check how many layers we have. We should have 3 different layers, as you can see here. 1, 2, and 3. The middle layer, though, it's a little bit different. It has like a different feel to it. Feels like a little bit plastic or sticky, different than the other 2. And that way we know that we have 3 layers. And the third test that we're gonna do is we are going to see if this catches fire. It should not catch fire, it should melt. Okay, so we get a lighter or a candle and we're gonna try to burn this and see that it's going to melt, but it will not catch on fire. Okay, that is the third test that we do to make sure that the mask is meeting the standards and giving us a good level of protection. Hope this was useful.
Yes, it was quite useful. We did. The royal family did need to know that, because I ain't gonna front. I did not know that at all. That, I did know that they were out here selling fake masks. But, those layers have to have that one little component in there where they have some type of plasticky type of material. It's a different kind of material, so you're not breathing in the vapors, basically, first and foremost. And, I just explained about disinfectant. Now, on the disinfectant, I want to go a little bit deeper. Now, the disinfectant that I ordered was hospital grade. I used to have a carpet cleaning service, and then I started getting into janitorial service too as well. And I learned this from an OG brother, taught me something about how you clean your house with the right disinfectant. He told me when you are cleaning your countertops and all these type of things like that, use little water as possible, because we would shampoo these carpets and then, naturally they want you to clean the whole apartment and get it ready for people to move in. And so the brother was laughing. He said, "Sis, the way you clean it is like you clean it at home." And so he said, no. When you get because we were using professional strength, hospital grade, like Lysol. They got that. You can get that from janitorial supplies and stuff. That, like, when you spray a disinfectant on your countertop, your personal countertop, spray it, let it sit there for a while so it can kill what it need to kill. Let it sit there. How long? At least give it 10 minutes. Just let it sit there. Then when you clean it, and stuff, use a dry towel and buff it out. No water at all. Now, there are some situations, there may be a tough spot that you may need to use some water. But first, if it's a tough spot, let it sit there and do what it do. Give it time to do what it do, to kill whatever it's going to kill. Because a disinfectant, you defeating yourself when you spray it and then buff it out right away. No. Let that marinate. Let that marinate. So that's how I clean my house now. And that was years ago. Over 20 years ago. I use as little water as possible. The most water I use is when I mop the kitchen floor or the bathroom floor. But other than that, my countertops, I spray stuff on there. And I have to admit that it was a point that I used to spray it on there, and as soon as I spray it, I was buffing it out. Well, I had to rethink some things. Now I'm spraying it, letting it sit there, take my dry towel and buff it out so it can clean that stuff. And if anybody want that particular product, because I'm staying on code, that you're going to have to email me. You know how we get down. All right. So that's what I want to leave right there. So now let's get into this talk a little bit deeper. I need help. Y'all know, as of March 3rd, I am no longer monetized. I cannot make no money doing my videos, but that is not going to stop me from making videos and putting out the quality of videos that I am putting out. So it's a lot of us. I'm not unique to this process that this is going on. But I am one of the few that ask for anything. I forget often. Some y'all do drag me behind the scenes and say, why you didn't put up the links to your GoFund, your Patreon, and your PayPal? And I have no excuses. But the excuse that I use is that I'm so focused on putting the story out, that ain't on my mind. Well, it is on my mind now, given the space and time that we are in. There are some people, and they know who they are, that I send what I've been sending, those links that y'all been asking for. And there is one that I just resend, so she makes sure that she was supplied. And there's another sister that I have to send some stuff to. And do you know what? We've been ordering that stuff so much, my royal family, and y'all can go check yourself. They don't have it no more right now. Now that doesn't mean we can go to other how can I put it? It's still out, but the reason why I was sending that particular link, given what we was paying for where we were getting 2 packs, now we can pay for where we're getting 1 pack, and look at the quality that we were getting. So I got close to over 100 emails, and I diligently send it out to the royal family. Now, if somebody else asks for it, I'm gonna have to send you the alternative, and you're just gonna have to order 2 or 3 or however you want to do it. And so I got to thinking, damn, the people who are on fixed incomes who can't afford it, and they'll just be straight up with me. So since YouTube is doing what they are doing to me, I'm asking, usually I say $1, but I'm gonna say $5, because I see that this is going to be an ongoing thing. So if anybody that can spare $5 a month, so I can continue to help the people that I have been helping, which I've been doing for the longest. In fact, last night, I probably was some of the last people I had sent Jazzy Rowe what we all been taking, because she just had a baby, and she's on a for real fixed income, and I wanted that baby to have it, because I have been sending it to a lot of people, and some of us got a little something. And And she is the only one that y'all do know that I send stuff to, because she said it was okay to say her name. There are some other people that are subscribers on this channel. I'm not going to mention your name. If you mention it, that I'm not lying, that I do actually send stuff to our family because they on a fixed income, reveal yourself. If you don't want to reveal yourself, you don't have to reveal yourself and stuff. I mean, you could take my word for it or not. So I'm asking our family, I need your help. I would prefer, and I'll show you, I would prefer that y'all would send it to my Patreon, and I'm sending the link as we're doing the premiere right now. So as of, I've been on YouTube 4 years, and in 4 years I have 27 Patreon customers. And I did say I would keep my word, which I will. I'm just giving y'all time to get through this book because I thought it would be necessary that y'all to listen to, because it was quite interesting, that I will be doing exclusive videos and I will not be sharing them on YouTube at all. I choose to be, I just choose to be like that. Just be like that. But the way that I want to do that, I want to put out videos where y'all email me that y'all know that y'all Patreon customers, what do you want me to put out? Because I'm putting out what I think y'all want to hear. And maybe you don't want to hear that. So this would be a unique situation where you want me to, it's a subject or something that you want me to talk about. And we will be doing private streams too as well. But that money every month is going to have to help some people that need cleaning agents and some type of supplement to protect their families against the coronavirus. And I don't think $1 would be enough. And I do have a handful of people that send me $10 a month, and I appreciate y'all greatly. But 27 customers, 27 Patreons, and I have almost 20,000 subs. And out of that 20,000 subs, I'm thinking about 150 people or more send me links all last month and this month so they can protect their families. And out of that 150 plus, 6 people joined my Patreon without me asking. And I greatly appreciate it. And I got to thinking, damn, if out of that 150 plus sent me $5 a month, whoa, I could help our family, because we still got folks out here that need our help. And the way we know how America operates, they ain't thinking about us. They don't give a damn about us. But this is all about us. Ain't that something, my royal family? This is all about us. These vapors. How y'all have been ignoring us and doing whatever y'all been doing to us. And they're going to continue to do it to us. They're going to continue to be nasty. They are being very demanding, that they want us to go to their restaurants and stuff. And the very people overall that's making these fake masks are the people that's demanding for us to go to their restaurants. I mean, a lot of things nefarious are going to go down due to the coronavirus. So I'm thinking, how can I help our folks? How can I help our folks or how can we help our folks in general? Well, I don't have all the capital, but I'm asking the royal family to the depths of my soul. I'm not asking over that. If you get over that, I appreciate that. $5 a month. That is it, and that is all. And for True Royal to get up here and ask for anything, this is how I am in my personal life. I don't like asking for stuff. And would y'all please stay on top of me about making sure I put these links, because overall I forget to put the links because I'm on that other mission. So I'm going out of my rim at this point to ask our family just $5 a month so I can continue to send what I need to send to our family, because other people are reaching out and that's kind of hard for them. And I want to make sure during however long this thing gonna last, and we don't know, that at least what little that we can do, that I'm making sure that the people that support this channel, that they can get what they need to protect their family, and also need the necessary continuous disinfectants that they need in their individual households too. Because let's think about this, my royal family. We got folks that are on such a set income that cleaning agents become an issue. It's like, well, do I get a bar of soap or do I get something to clean my house? And you got to make those executive decisions. And inside of that, they got their own medicine that they have to pay for too as well. So we got to help each other, because this country is not going to help us at all. And these are the kind of things that keep me up at night. And one more thing, the people that that I continue to keep helping, you can make yourself known, or you don't have to at all. Just keep it the way it is. But I'm going to keep it square with the royal family. So that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted for us not to be fooled about a many of things and scams that are being run. I mean, the president can't even keep it truthful, even with his own people. We are in the truly last days, my royal family. Tomorrow is an exciting day. Tomorrow is the 17th. And I said that our Father told me that I would always see the number 17th. And it just turned out that our new year is on the 17th, my royal family. Isn't that deep? Overcoming the enemy and a complete victory. So, my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.